The holiday card arrived on a Tuesday, wedged between bills and grocery store flyers like it was nothing special. I almost tossed it with the junk mail until I saw the return address. The Romero family. My own last name. My own family. And there I wasn't. I'm Tessa, by the way. 29, software engineer, and apparently invisible enough to be digitally erased from my own family's Christmas card. The photo showed my father, Malcolm, beaming in his navy sweater, my stepmother, Evangeline, radiant in cream cashmere, and my half-sister, Gemma, looking like she'd stepped off a magazine cover. They stood in front of our family's fireplace, the same fireplace I'd helped decorate just 3 weeks ago, but where I should have been standing, there was just nothing. A seamless gap that looked completely natural, like I'd never existed at all. Holy shit, I whispered, sinking onto my couch. My hands shook as I flipped the card over. Wishing you joy, love, and togetherness this holiday season. The Romeros. I called Sophia immediately. Tell me you're looking at your family's Christmas card right now, I said the second she picked up. Hello to you too? And no, why would I be looking at... I've been cropped out. Silence. Then, what do you mean cropped out? I mean digitally removed, photoshopped into oblivion, like I was never there. That's... Sophia's voice went deadly quiet. That's not possible. Even Evangeline wouldn't... Want to bet? I was already grabbing my laptop, pulling up my email. I'm sending you a photo right now. While I waited for her reaction, memories flooded back. Evangeline's perfectly timed interruptions whenever I tried to talk to Dad. The way she'd schedule family dinners on nights she knew I worked late. How she'd introduce me to her friends as Malcolm's daughter from his first marriage, with just enough emphasis to make it clear I was the outsider. But this was nuclear. Jesus Christ, Tessa. Sophia's voice crackled through the phone. This is sociopathic, right? And look at the mailing list. I scrolled through my contacts, checking who else would have received this masterpiece. Every aunt, uncle, cousin, family friend, everyone who matters to Dad's business connections. What did your dad say when you called him? I hadn't called him. Couldn't bring myself to dial the number, knowing he'd probably just make excuses for her like always. I need to think about this. Think about what? You call him right now and what? He'll apologize and promise it won't happen again? He's been letting her pull this shit for 8 years, Sophia. 8 years of me being the inconvenient reminder of his first marriage. My phone buzzed with a text from my cousin Rachel. Saw the card. You look so busy with work these days. Evangeline mentioned you couldn't make it to the photo shoot because of some big project. My blood turned to ice. She's been telling people I was too busy to show up. What? Evangeline, she's spinning this like I chose not to be in the photo, like I was too wrapped up in my all-consuming tech career to bother with family. I read Rachel's text aloud, my voice getting sharper with each word. That manipulative... She's rewriting history, making me the villain in my own erasure. Another text popped up, this one from my Uncle Bryant. Hope you're not working too hard to enjoy the holidays. Maybe next year you can make time for the family photo? I wanted to scream. Instead, I laughed, a bitter sound that surprised even me. Tessa? I'm fine. Actually, I'm better than fine. I was already opening my laptop, fingers flying across the keyboard. I'm inspired. That tone scares me. It should scare Evangeline more. I pulled up her charity's website, the one she was so proud of. The domain registration info was right there, public record. Did you know most people forget to renew their domain names on time? Tessa, what are you thinking? I'm thinking it's time to stop being the bigger person. I'm thinking 8 years of turning the other cheek has gotten me exactly nowhere. I clicked through to the domain registrar, checking the expiration dates. I'm thinking maybe it's time Evangeline learned what it feels like to be erased. This sounds like the beginning of a very bad idea. Or a very good one. I smiled for the first time since opening that card. Depends on your perspective. Christmas dinner at the Romero house was like walking into a magazine spread. Evangeline had outdone herself with the table settings, crystal glasses catching the chandelier light, gold chargers under pristine white plates, and enough candles to light up half the neighborhood. I sat at the far end of the table, practically in the kitchen doorway. Not exactly subtle placement. "Tessa, honey, could you pass the salt?" Evangeline's voice dripped with artificial sweetness. She was sitting at the opposite end next to Dad, looking like she'd stepped out of a holiday catalog in her burgundy silk dress. I slid the salt shaker down the table, watching it travel past 3 empty chairs between us. "So busy at work these days," Evangeline continued, addressing the table but clearly performing for Dad's business partner who'd joined us for dinner. "Tessa's one of those tech people who just lives and breathes computers. Isn't that right, dear?" Something like that. I cut into my turkey with more force than necessary. Gemma shot me a look from across the table. She'd been unusually quiet all evening, picking at her food and avoiding eye contact with her mother. "The charity gala is coming along beautifully," Evangeline pivoted to her favorite topic. "We've raised over $50,000 already, and that's before the silent auction. Brent Parker says it might be our most successful year yet." Dad beamed at her. "You've worked so hard on this, Eva. The community is lucky to have you." I nearly choked on my wine. The same community that received Christmas cards with me, digitally erased from existence. "It's all about family values," Evangeline continued, her hand finding Dad's on the table. "Creating strong foundations for our children. Speaking of which, Gemma's been such a help with the planning committee." "Mom, I just stuffed envelopes," Gemma mumbled. "Don't be modest, sweetheart. You have such a natural gift for bringing people together." "Unlike some people," the subtext screamed. I set down my fork. "Dad, can I talk to you for a minute? Privately?" The table went quiet. Evangeline's smile tightened almost imperceptibly. "Can't it wait until after dinner, honey?" Dad's voice carried that familiar note of avoidance. "We have guests. It'll just take a second." "Tessa." His tone sharpened. "We're eating." The dismissal hit like a slap. I felt heat creep up my neck as everyone stared at their plates, pretending this wasn't happening. "Of course, sorry to interrupt." I stood up, my chair scraping loudly against the hardwood. "I think I need some air." I stepped onto the back patio, the December cold biting through my sweater. The sliding door opened behind me. "Tess?" Gemma's voice was soft, uncertain. "Come to tell me I'm being dramatic?" She closed the door and moved to stand beside me at the railing. "No, I came to, I don't know, check on you." "I'm fine." "You're not fine. You've barely said 10 words all night." I turned to look at her. At 24, Gemma had inherited all of Evangeline's beauty, but none of her calculating coldness. Usually. "Did you know about the Christmas card?" Her silence was answer enough. "Gemma?" "I told her not to do it." The words came out in a rush. "I said it was wrong, that you'd be hurt, that Dad would be furious if he found out. But she said you probably wouldn't even notice, because you never look at family stuff anyway." "And you believed that?" "No, I fought her on it, Tess, I really did. But she'd already sent them out before I could stop her. So you just let it happen." "What was I supposed to do? Tell everyone the cards were fake? 'Cause a huge scene? She's my mother." "And I'm your sister." Gemma's eyes filled with tears. "I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Through the glass door, I could see Evangeline holding court at the dinner table, gesturing animatedly as she told some story. Dad was laughing, completely absorbed in her performance. "She told everyone I was too busy with work to show up for the photo." "I know. I heard her on the phone with Aunt Rachel." "And you didn't correct her?" Gemma wiped her eyes. "I should have. I wanted to. But she gets so angry when I contradict her in front of people." "So you threw me under the bus instead?" "That's not what I meant to." "It's exactly what you did." I pulled out my phone, scrolling through the domain registration site I'd bookmarked earlier. But you know what? Maybe it's time someone held her accountable. What are you doing? I showed her the screen. Your mother's charity website domain expires in 2 weeks. Funny thing about domain names, if you forget to renew them, anyone can buy them. Gemma's face went pale. Tessa, you can't be serious. Dead serious. That would destroy her. The gala is next month, and if people can't find the website, maybe she should have thought about that before she decided to erase me from our family. Please don't do this. There has to be another way. I looked back through the glass at Evangeline, still performing, still perfect, still completely untouchable in her little kingdom of lies. There was another way. It was called treating me like family. I slipped my phone back into my pocket and headed for the door. Where are you going? Home. I have some shopping to do. The domain purchase took exactly 3 minutes and cost me $12. I stared at the confirmation email on my laptop screen, coffee growing cold beside me. Congratulations. You are now the owner of hopefulfuturecharityfund.org. You actually did it. Sophia peered over my shoulder at the screen. She'd come over with bagels and moral support, though I wasn't sure which one I needed more. I actually did it. So what's the plan? Redirect it to something embarrassing? Cat videos? That website that just screams? I'm thinking bigger. I opened a new browser tab and started sketching out ideas on a notepad. Something that tells the truth for once. My phone buzzed. Another text from a relative I barely talked to. Aunt Linda. Evangeline mentioned you're so focused on your career these days. Good for you, honey. Maybe next year you can take a break for family time. I showed Sophia the message. See, she's been busy. This is unreal. How many people has she told this story to? Everyone who matters, apparently. I scrolled through my messages. Cousins, family friends, even my dad's golf buddies. All variations on the same theme. Poor Tessa, too busy with work to care about family. You know what's really messed up? She's making you the villain in your own story. Before I could respond, my phone rang. Unknown local number. Hello? Hi, is this Tessa? This is Knox Benson from the Hopeful Futures Board. I nearly dropped the phone. Knox was Evangeline's right-hand man on the charity committee, her most trusted ally. Yes, hi. I hope you don't mind me calling. I got your number from your father. I wanted to reach out about our New Year's community breakfast. We'd love to have you join us. Oh, that's nice of you to ask. I was surprised you weren't at the holiday card photo shoot. Evangeline mentioned you had a work emergency? My grip tightened on the phone. Something like that. Well, these tech jobs can be demanding. My daughter's in software too, but I hope you can make time for the breakfast. It would mean a lot to have the whole family represented. The whole family. Like I wasn't already part of it. I'll check my schedule. Wonderful. Oh, and Tessa, I hope you don't mind me saying, but your stepmother speaks about you so fondly. She's always bragging about your accomplishments. You're lucky to have someone who cares so much about your success. I hung up and stared at Sophia. What was that about? Evangeline's been playing both sides, telling the family I'm too career-obsessed to show up, but telling the charity people she's proud of my success. She's covering all her bases. She's a sociopath. I opened my laptop and pulled up Dad's cloud storage. He'd given me the password years ago for family photos, back when we actually felt like family. What are you looking for? Evidence. I clicked through folders until I found it. Christmas 2023 photos, raw. My heart hammered as the images loaded. There it was, the original photo from the card shoot. All 4 of us standing by the fireplace, looking like an actual family. I was right there between Dad and Gemma, smiling, completely present. Holy shit, Sophia whispered. She didn't just crop me out of the card, she rewrote history. I saved the image to my desktop. Look at this. I'm right there. We all look happy. This is evidence of some serious psychological manipulation. And now I have proof. I opened a photo editing program and placed the original next to the version from the Christmas card. Side by side, the difference was stark. In one, I existed. In the other, I'd been erased so seamlessly it looked natural. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was Gemma. Gemma, Mom's been asking if you're okay. She said you seemed upset at dinner. I showed Sophia the text. She's worried you might cause problems. Good. She should be worried. I typed back. Tell her I'm fine. Just busy with work, like always. Gemma, Tess, please don't do anything crazy. Me, define crazy. Gemma, you know what I mean. Me, actually, I don't. Enlighten me. She didn't respond. You're really going through with this? Sophia asked. Look at this photo, Soph. Look at how normal we look, how happy. And then look at what she sent to everyone we know. I gestured at the screen. She didn't just exclude me. She made it look like I was never there in the first place. I know, but what? I should just take it? Let her keep spinning her narrative while I fade into the background? What if this backfires? What if it makes things worse with your dad? I looked at the original photo again, Dad's arm around my shoulders, both of us genuinely smiling. When was the last time we'd looked that comfortable together? Things with Dad are already broken. At least this way, everyone will know why. I created a new folder on my desktop and started gathering materials. The original photo, the cropped version, screenshots of the family texts. Knox's phone call had given me an idea. The charity gala is in 3 weeks, I said. So that's when she'll be most vulnerable. Standing up there talking about family values and community with all her important friends watching. Tessa. She wants to erase me? Fine. But I'm going to make sure everyone sees exactly what she erased first. I pulled up the domain management panel and started building. The website took me 3 days to perfect. Clean, simple, devastating. A single page with 2 photos side by side. The original family photo on the left, the cropped version on the right. Below them, a caption in elegant serif font. Some families crop you out of photos. Others crop you out of existence. Guess which one I got? It's brutal, Sophia said, looking over my shoulder. And classy. I hate that I love it. The best revenge is always classy. I saved the final version and uploaded it to the domain. Now I just need to time the redirect perfectly. My phone rang. Dad's name flashed on the screen. Hey, Dad. Tessa, honey, I wanted to apologize for dinner the other night. I know I was short with you. It's fine. No, it's not fine. You wanted to talk and I shut you down. That wasn't fair. I almost laughed. 3 days too late, but sure. What changed your mind? Evangeline mentioned you seemed upset. She's worried she might have said something wrong. Of course she was. What exactly did she say? Just that you've been distant lately. She thinks maybe the stress of your job is getting to you. My job is fine, Dad. I know, but maybe you could take some time off. Come to the gala next month. It would mean a lot to Eva. The gala. She's worked so hard on it, and it would be nice to have the whole family there supporting her. The whole family. The irony was suffocating. I'll think about it. That's all I ask. Love you, kiddo. He hung up before I could respond. I stared at the phone, feeling that familiar ache in my chest. Let me guess, Sophia said. Evangeline sent him to do damage control. She's worried I might cause problems at her precious gala. Are you going too? I looked at my laptop screen, at the website waiting to go live. Absolutely. My phone buzzed with a text from Gemma. Can we talk? In person? An hour later, she was sitting in my living room, fidgeting with her coffee cup. Mom knows something's up, she said without preamble. What do you mean? She's been asking weird questions about you, about what you might be planning. She even asked if I thought you'd try to embarrass her at the gala. And what did you tell her? That you're not that petty. Gemma looked up at me. Please tell me you're not that petty. I didn't answer. Tess, she's my mother. Whatever she did to you, she's still my mom, and I'm still your sister. Or did you forget that when you let her crop me out of our family? I told you I tried to stop her. You tried, but when it came down to choosing sides, you chose hers. Gemma's eyes filled with tears. It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. I pulled up the website on my laptop and turned the screen toward her. Look at this. Her face went white as she took in the side-by-side photos. Oh my God. Your mother didn't just exclude me from a photo, Gemma. She erased me from our family history, and then she told everyone it was my choice. Tess, you can't publish this. Why not? It's the truth. Because it will destroy her. The charity, her reputation, everything she's worked for. Good. You don't mean that. I absolutely mean that. I closed the laptop. She spent 8 years making me feel like I don't belong in my own family. Now she gets to see what it feels like to be exposed. Gemma stood up, pacing to the window. There has to be another way. What if I talked to her, made her apologize? It's too late for apologies. What if she put you back in the photo, sent out corrections? And what? Pretended this never happened? Let her keep playing the victim? She's not playing the victim, isn't she? Poor Evangeline, trying so hard to include her difficult stepdaughter who's just too busy with work to care about family. Gemma turned back to me, her face flushed. You want to know the truth? Sometimes you are difficult. Sometimes you do act like you're too good for us. The words hit like a physical blow. Excuse me? You barely come to family dinners. You never call Dad unless he calls first. You act like spending time with us is some huge burden. Because it is. Because every time I'm there, your mother finds some way to remind me that I don't belong. That's not true. Really? Then explain the seating chart at Christmas dinner. Explain why I'm always the last to know about family plans. Explain why she introduces me as Malcolm's daughter from his first marriage, like I'm some kind of footnote. Gemma's mouth opened and closed. She had no answer. Your mother has been systematically erasing me from this family for 8 years. The Christmas card was just the final straw. So you're going to destroy her life? I'm going to tell the truth. If that destroys her life, maybe she should have thought about that before she decided to destroy mine. Gemma grabbed her purse and headed for the door. I won't let you do this. You can't stop me. She paused at the door, her hand on the knob. Dad will never forgive you. Dad already chose his side, just like you did. The door slammed behind her, leaving me alone with my laptop and my perfectly crafted revenge. The gala was scheduled for Saturday night at 7. I set the domain redirect for 7:15 p.m., right in the middle of Evangeline's keynote speech. You're really doing this, Sophia said, watching me configure the settings on my laptop. We were sitting in my kitchen, takeout containers scattered between us. I'm really doing this. And you're sure about the timing? Knox sent me the program schedule when he invited me. Evangeline speaks at 7:10. By 7:15, she'll be in full swing, talking about family values and community support. I clicked save on the redirect settings. Perfect timing for everyone to see what those values actually look like. What if something goes wrong? What if the redirect doesn't work? It'll work. I've tested it 3 times. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. Unknown. This is Bryant, your uncle. Heard through the grapevine you might be planning something stupid. Call me. I showed Sophia the message. Your dad's brother? Yeah, the only family member who's ever called Evangeline on her bullshit. I dialed his number. Tessa, thank God. What the hell are you thinking? Hello to you too, Uncle Bryant. Don't get cute with me. Gemma called me in tears, saying you're planning to sabotage the charity gala. I'm not sabotaging anything. I'm just providing some context. Context for what? For why I'm never around for family events, since apparently everyone thinks it's because I'm too self-absorbed to care. Bryant was quiet for a moment. What did Evangeline do now? I told him about the Christmas card, about the narrative she'd been spinning, about 8 years of systematic exclusion. Jesus Christ, he muttered. I knew she was controlling, but this... So you understand why I have to do this. I understand why you want to. But Tessa, this isn't just about her. This will hurt your father too. Dad made his choice a long time ago. He loves you. He has a funny way of showing it. He's weak when it comes to her, I'll give you that. But destroying his wife's reputation isn't going to fix your relationship with him. Maybe not, but at least everyone will know the truth. Bryant sighed heavily. What if I talked to her? Made her come clean about the photo? It's too late for that. It's never too late to... She left me a voicemail yesterday. I hadn't told Sophia about this yet. Want to hear it? I put the phone on speaker and played the message. Tessa, it's Evangeline. I'm concerned about some things Gemma mentioned. I hope you're not planning to do anything rash. I know you're upset about the Christmas situation, but sometimes we have to make difficult choices about family presentations. I'm sure you understand. Anyway, I hope we can discuss this like adults. Call me. The kitchen went silent. Holy shit, Sophia whispered. Family presentations, Bryant repeated. She actually said that. She's not even pretending it was an accident. She made a choice to erase me, and she thinks I should just understand. Tessa, no. I'm done being understanding. I'm done being the bigger person. I'm done pretending this is normal. I hung up and immediately got another call. Dad this time. Tessa, we need to talk. About what? About whatever you're planning for Saturday night. I'm not planning anything. Don't lie to me. Evangeline is beside herself. Gemma's crying. Bryant called me asking what the hell is going on. Maybe you should ask your wife what's going on. I did ask her. She said there was a misunderstanding about the Christmas photo. A misunderstanding? She said she was trying to protect you, that you looked uncomfortable in the original, so she thought, Dad, stop, just stop. I could feel my control slipping. She didn't protect me. She erased me, and then she told everyone I was too busy to show up. That's not what she meant. That's exactly what she meant. Ask Knox Benson. Ask Aunt Linda. Ask any of the dozen people who've texted me about how career-focused I am. Tessa, please. Just come to dinner tomorrow night. We'll sort this out as a family. We're not a family, Dad. We're Evangeline's family plus me when it's convenient. That's not true. When's the last time you called me just to talk? When's the last time you asked about my life without Evangeline prompting you? Silence. That's what I thought. Tessa, if you do something to hurt Evangeline at this gala, I'll never forgive you. The words hit like a punch to the gut. And if you keep choosing her over me, I'll never forgive you. I hung up and stared at the phone. Wow, Sophia said softly. He actually threatened me. My own father threatened me to protect her. Maybe we should reconsider this. If it's going to destroy your relationship with him... What relationship? He just made it clear where his loyalty lies. My phone buzzed with another text from Gemma. Mom found out about the domain. She knows what you're planning. She's calling lawyers. I laughed out loud. What's so funny? She's calling lawyers. About what? I bought a domain legally. I'm posting true information. What's she going to sue me for, telling the truth? This is escalating fast. Good, let it escalate. I opened my laptop and double-checked the redirect settings one more time. Saturday night, everyone gets to see who Evangeline really is. And if it backfires, then at least I'll go down swinging. The Riverside Convention Center was packed. I stood at the back of the ballroom with Sophia, both of us dressed in black like we were attending a funeral. In a way, we were. "There's got to be 300 people here," Sophia whispered. "More. Look at the VIP section." I nodded toward the front tables where the city's elite sat in their designer gowns and $1,000 suits. Half the city council is here, the mayor, every business owner who matters. Evangeline had outdone herself. The stage was draped in gold fabric with massive floral arrangements, and a slideshow of the charity's accomplishments played on screens throughout the room. She'd turned this into her personal coronation. "There she is," Sophia said. Evangeline glided between tables in a stunning emerald dress, playing the perfect hostess. She looked radiant, confident, completely in her element. Dad walked beside her in his best tuxedo, beaming with pride. "She has no idea what's coming," I said. "Are you sure about this?" "Really sure?" I checked my phone. 7:08 p.m. Too late to back out now. Knox took the stage and tapped the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please." The crowd settled into their seats. I spotted Gemma at the family table, looking pale and nervous. She kept glancing toward the back of the room like she was searching for me. "It's my great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker tonight," Knox continued. "A woman who has dedicated countless hours to our community, who embodies the very values we celebrate here at Hopeful Futures. Please welcome our board president, Evangeline." The applause was thunderous. Evangeline took the stage with practiced grace, waiting for the noise to die down before speaking. "Thank you all for being here tonight," she began, her voice carrying perfectly through the sound system. "When I look out at this room, I see more than donors and supporters. I see family." I pulled out my phone and opened the domain management app. "Family is everything," Evangeline continued. "It's the foundation upon which we build our lives, our values, our legacy. At Hopeful Futures, we believe that strong families create strong communities." "The irony is killing me," Sophia muttered. "And that's why tonight's theme is so close to my heart. Building bridges, strengthening bonds. Because when we support each other, when we refuse to let anyone fall through the cracks, we create something beautiful." 7:14 p.m. My finger hovered over the redirect button. "I'm blessed to have a family that understands this mission," Evangeline said, gesturing toward the family table. "My husband Malcolm, who supports me in everything I do. My daughter Gemma, who reminds me daily what it means to care for others." She didn't mention me. Of course she didn't. "Family isn't always easy," she continued. "Sometimes we face challenges. Sometimes people drift apart, get caught up in their own lives, their own ambitions. But love means never giving up. Love means always leaving the door open." 7:15 p.m. I pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. Evangeline kept talking about community values and family bonds. Then I saw it, a ripple of confusion starting at the VIP tables. People were checking their phones, frowning at their screens. "What we've accomplished this year..." Evangeline paused as someone in the front row held up their phone, showing it to their table mate. More phones came out. The murmur started low but grew steadily louder. "As I was saying," Evangeline tried to continue, but her voice wavered slightly. "The bonds we've built..." Knox appeared at the side of the stage, his face pale. He was holding his phone, staring at the screen in horror. "Is everything all right?" Evangeline asked, breaking character for the first time. The murmur became a buzz. People were standing up, showing their phones to others, pointing at the screens. I could see the shock on their faces as they took in the side-by-side photos. "What's happening?" someone called out. Brent Parker, the board president, stood up at the head table. His face was red with anger. "Evangeline, we need to talk, now." "I'm in the middle of my speech. Your speech can wait." Brent's voice carried across the room. "We need to discuss what's on your charity's website right now." The room erupted. Everyone was on their phones now, frantically typing in the website address. The slideshow screens that had been showing charity photos suddenly flickered and changed. Someone had connected their phone to the projection system. There it was, blown up for everyone to see. The original family photo and the cropped version, side by side on a 20-foot screen, the caption underneath in elegant font. Some families crop you out of photos, others crop you out of existence. Guess which one I got? The silence was deafening. Evangeline stared at the screen, her face cycling through confusion, recognition, and pure rage. Is this real? Brent demanded. Did you actually crop your stepdaughter out of your family photo? It's more complicated than... It's a yes or no question, Evangeline. The entire room was watching now. 300 of the city's most influential people, all staring at the evidence of her deception projected in high definition. I can explain, Evangeline said, but her voice was barely a whisper. Oh, I think you've explained enough, Brent said. He turned to address the room. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to take a brief recess to sort this out. But nobody moved. They were all transfixed by the drama unfolding on stage. Tessa! Gemma's voice cut through the chaos. She was standing at the family table, scanning the crowd. Tessa, I know you're here. All eyes turned toward the back of the room, searching for me. I stepped forward, just enough to be seen. There, someone said, that's her. The crowd parted like the Red Sea as I walked toward the stage, Sophia beside me. Every step felt like a mile, every face a judgment. Evangeline saw me coming, and her composure finally cracked completely. You, she hissed into the microphone, you did this. I told the truth, I said, my voice carrying in the stunned silence. Something you've never been very good at. The ballroom had gone completely silent except for the sound of my heels clicking on the marble floor. 300 pairs of eyes followed me as I walked toward the stage where Evangeline stood frozen behind the podium. You want to talk about family values? I called out, my voice carrying without a microphone. Let's talk about them. Brent Parker stepped forward. Young lady, I don't know what your grievance is, but this is neither the time nor the place. Actually, this is exactly the time and place. I stopped in front of the stage. Since my stepmother has been using this platform to lecture everyone about family bonds while systematically erasing me from ours. That's not true, Evangeline's voice cracked through the sound system. I've always tried to include you. Really? Is that why you cropped me out of our Christmas card and told everyone I was too busy with work to show up? A murmur rippled through the crowd. People were pulling up the website on their phones again, comparing the photos. You looked uncomfortable in the original, Evangeline said desperately. I was trying to protect you from... From what? From being part of my own family? Gemma suddenly stood up at the family table. Stop it. Both of you, just stop. Gemma, sit down, Evangeline commanded. No! Gemma's voice shook, but she kept talking. I'm tired of pretending this is normal. Mom, you did crop her out. You did tell people she was too busy to come. And Tess, you're destroying her in front of everyone she respects. She destroyed me first, I shot back. This is insane, Dad said, finally finding his voice. He stood up and looked around the room at all the staring faces. This is a private family matter. It has nothing to do with the charity. Doesn't it? Knox stepped up to the microphone, his face grim. Evangeline, you've been representing this organization as someone who embodies family values. If you've been lying about your own family... I haven't been lying. Then explain this. Knox held up his phone, showing the side-by-side photos. Explain why your stepdaughter was in the original photo but not in the version you sent to everyone. It was a mistake, a misunderstanding. A mistake? I laughed bitterly. You told my cousin Rachel that I couldn't be bothered to show up because of my career. You told Knox here that I had a work emergency. You've been spinning this story for weeks. That's enough. Dad said, walking toward the stage. Tessa, you've made your point. Let's go home and discuss this privately. Privately? Like we've been discussing it for 8 years? I turned to face him. When exactly were you planning to stand up for me, Dad? When were you going to tell your wife that erasing me from family photos isn't acceptable? Dad's face went red. You're being dramatic. Am I? Look at that screen. Look at the evidence. I was there, Dad. I was part of our family, and she made me disappear. She was trying to what? Make me invisible? Mission accomplished. Brent Parker had been whispering urgently with other board members. Now he stepped forward again. Evangeline, in light of these revelations, I think it's best if you step down from your position effective immediately. What? Evangeline's face went white. You can't be serious. The board has lost confidence in your leadership. This kind of deception, this manipulation of your own family, it reflects poorly on our organization. This is ridiculous. One family dispute and you're throwing away years of service? It's not just a family dispute, Knox said quietly. It's a pattern of dishonesty. If you'll lie about something this personal, what else might you lie about? The crowd was buzzing now, people whispering to each other, phones out recording everything. I could see the headlines already. Charity president exposed for family photo scandal. Mom. Gemma's voice was barely audible, but the microphone picked it up. Just tell the truth, please. Evangeline looked at her daughter, then at Dad, then at me. For a moment, I thought she might actually come clean. Instead, she straightened her shoulders and lifted her chin. I don't have to justify my family decisions to any of you. Tessa has always been difficult, always been resentful of my relationship with her father. This is just another attempt to cause drama and make herself the center of attention. The crowd gasped. Even Dad looked shocked. Wow, I said. Even now, you can't admit what you did. I protected this family's image. I made a difficult choice about how to present us publicly, and I stand by it. You erased me. I made a practical decision. You made me disappear from my own family and then lied about why. A voice from the back of the room cut through our argument. Excuse me, are you Tessa? I turned to see a woman with a press badge and a camera. I'm Sarah Martinez from Channel 7 News. Would you be willing to comment on what's happening here tonight? My blood ran cold. This was about to go way beyond the charity board and the local social scene. No comment, I said quickly. But you're the stepdaughter who was cropped out of the family photo? I said no comment. But it was too late. The reporter was already filming. The camera capturing everything. The photos on the screen, Evangeline's stricken face, the chaos in the ballroom. This wasn't just revenge anymore. This was about to become a viral news story. Tessa, Dad said urgently, we need to leave, now. For once, I agreed with him completely. The video went viral within hours. I woke up Sunday morning to 847 missed calls, 2,000 text messages, and my face plastered across every social media platform. Yours cropped out was trending on Twitter. TikTok was full of people recreating the side-by-side photos with their own families. Someone had already made a meme. Holy shit, Sophia said, scrolling through her phone at my kitchen table. You're famous, and not in a good way. Define good. I poured coffee with shaking hands. Half the comments are calling me a hero for exposing family manipulation. The other half are calling me a vindictive bitch who destroyed a charity over a photo. What about your family? Have they called? I gestured at my silenced phone. Dad's called 16 times. Gemma's texted me novels. Even Uncle Bryant wants to talk. And Evangeline? Radio silence, but her lawyer called twice. The doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw Gemma standing on my porch, looking like she hadn't slept. We need to talk, she said when I opened the door. If you're here to yell at me, I'm here to apologize. She pushed past me into the living room. and to tell you that Mom's gone. Gone where? Her sister's house in Phoenix. She left this morning. Said she couldn't face anyone after what happened. Sophia looked up from her phone. The charity fired her? Fired her, launched an investigation into the finances, and issued a public statement distancing themselves from her actions. Gemma sank onto my couch. It's over. Everything she worked for is gone. Good, I said. Is it? Because Dad's a wreck. He's getting calls from reporters, his business partners are asking questions, and his wife just fled the state in disgrace. That's not my fault, isn't it? Gemma's eyes flashed. You could have handled this privately. You could have talked to Dad, confronted Mom directly. Instead, you chose nuclear warfare. I tried talking to Dad. He chose her side. So you decided to destroy her publicly? I decided to tell the truth publicly. There's a difference. My phone rang, Dad's name on the screen. Answer it, Gemma said. I hit speaker. Hi, Dad. Tessa. His voice sounded hollow. We need to talk. I'm listening. Not over the phone. Can you come over? Is Evangeline there? No, she's gone to her sister's for a while. I looked at Gemma, who nodded encouragingly. Fine, I'll be there in an hour. Dad was waiting on the front porch when I pulled up. He looked like he'd aged 10 years overnight, unshaven, rumpled clothes, eyes red with exhaustion. Thank you for coming, he said as we walked inside. The house felt different without Evangeline's presence. Quieter, less perfect. I owe you an apology, Dad said, settling into his chair. Several apologies, actually. I'm listening. I should have stood up for you years ago. I should have seen what was happening and put a stop to it. But you didn't. No, I didn't. I told myself it was easier to keep the peace, that you were strong enough to handle it, that it wasn't as bad as it seemed. It was worse than it seemed. I know that now. He rubbed his face with both hands. The photo thing. When I saw those images side by side last night, I realized how blind I've been, how much I've failed you as a father. Dad, let me finish. I chose the easy path instead of the right path. I let my wife erase my daughter from our family, and I made excuses for it. That's unforgivable. We sat in silence for a moment. What happens now? I asked. Now I try to make it right, if that's even possible. And Evangeline? I don't know. She's talking about staying in Phoenix permanently. Says she can't face the humiliation here. Are you going to follow her? Dad was quiet for a long time. I don't think so. I think maybe this needed to happen. Maybe we all needed to see the truth. My phone buzzed with a text from Knox. The board voted to ask you to join us. We could use someone with your integrity. I showed Dad the message. You should do it, he said. The charity does good work despite everything. I'll think about it. Tessa? Dad's voice was tentative. Do you think we can fix this? Our relationship? I looked around the living room at the family photos on the mantle. The Christmas card was gone, I noticed. In its place was the original photo from Dad's laptop, all four of us together, uncropped, whole. We can try, I said. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet. But it was a start. Outside, a news van pulled up to the curb. The reporter from last night stepped out, camera crew in tow. Back door? I asked. Back door, Dad agreed. As we slipped out through the kitchen, I caught sight of myself in the hallway mirror. For the first time in years, I looked like I belonged in this house, cropped out no more.